guys, welcome to my first YouTube video ever showing how I created this illustration using gouache and digital media. Let's get to it. So I normally start with a sketch in my sketchbook. Basically the assignment was to draw like our dream workspace or a dream studio space, and what I did was sort of create like a clubhousey type of thing in the forest because I love nature. And it started off with that little sketch, and I drew a little one with more detail in it. And then what I did is I used my iPad, basically like traced over it on Procreate, and then I used that sketch and created like a color composition. And in that color composition I had two choices. I had this like blue and pink one, and I couldn't decide which one was better, so I had to go to Instagram, follow me, to do a poll, and most people voted for pink, even though I kind of personally like the blue, but I feel like the pink kind of made a good contrast between the warm color and cool colors of the green and pink, and so I went with that. And then I had to print out the paper onto 17 by 11 inches, and then I traced that onto a watercolor piece of paper in blue pencil crayon so that I could start painting it in gouache. And my plan was to create the whole thing in gouache, but as time went on, you know, sort of see that changed, and I'm just pointing out the details here because there are a lot of details, and since I'm working on a bigger size, this is one of the biggest gouache paintings I've ever done. I have a lot more options with the details, and I have a lot more space to work with gouache. So yeah, let's get into the time lapse. So like I said, I took a picture of my sketch and put this on Procreate, and then sort of basically traced over it and created like my composition and my furniture. I put a little kitchen downstairs with lights and stools, and this is sort of like, not my dream kitchen, but like my dream layout. I have a little like clubhouse that I would love to work in. So yeah, I have the kitchen and a little like hanging out space just for me. It's just for me and my dog. I don't have a dog right now, but I would love to get one in the future. And then put the windows to get some light in. There's a ladder that takes you upstairs to the attic, which would be my workspace. And then I have my entire workspace, which is kind of what my room looks like right now, but a lot nicer. So I've got like, you know, my desk, my drawing table, my comic books all over the floor, and like bigger lights and little plants and succulents all over the place. And then I went into the forest and drew trees and little little foliages, and then I colored it and took like inspiration off of Pinterest for the color scheme, and then painted, like got all my colors laid out so I could know exactly where to put my gouache, and it was a lot more easier for me to create like a composition that way. And then yeah, and I added little clubhouses in the back, and as you can see, like these clubhouses, they're super cute because my friends can live there while I live in my own clubhouse. We could visit each other, so I'm not super lonely and, you know, isolated in this forest. So yeah, that was my plan. So now I'm going to trace over that printed image of the sketch that I made onto my watercolor paper. I just took a shoebox, put my phone underneath while turning the flashlight on, and then took my blue pencil crayon and then traced over it like that, because it's like a DIY light box and I didn't need to spend any money. Except on the shoes that I bought for the shoebox. And then so now I'm basically painting it onto my 17 by 11 inch piece of paper, and I'm starting off with my backgrounds and putting in my grass color and all of the little trees. And this is a super long process. Like, I had over like 6 hours of footage for this, and this is playing back on probably 40 times speed, because if it was any slower, this video would be like 20 minutes long, and I do not want that. Like, I wouldn't even sit through a video of myself for that long. I hope this isn't too long. I don't know how long it is, like 12 minutes or whatever, but anyway, whatever. So I'm getting in those colors for the green and the black of the sky, which is actually kind of like a bluish black, and when I scan the photo in the final, it looks a lot more like bluish, which is what I want, but in this lighting it just looks completely black. Yeah, so I'm getting in the background. As you can see, like, this is so annoying. Like, I love working with gouache, but the amount of attention to detail that you have to put into gouache is like insane. Like I have to get all these edges perfect, and then if not, I have to retrace it over. And yeah, but that's just how gouache is, and I seriously do love how the colors are so vibrant, which is why I used gouache for this. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking and then you can keep watching what's going on now. So the gouache that I'm using is Turner Acryl Gouache. I got it because in my first year of illustration at OCAD, we had to buy this gouache set, and we had to use gouache for a lot of our first year assignments for this design class. I forget what the class is called. Oh, color and 2D design, I think. And yeah, I hated it at first. It was hard to blend, it was hard to use, but after like watching some of my friends use it and also getting a little more used to it throughout the year, I started liking it, and it was a lot more forgiving in a sense, because you can really trace over your own work. Like you can create layers, and the vibrant colors really bring like a pop to the illustrations, which is why I like to use it. This illustration, not including what I did digitally, probably took almost 6 hours and a bit, and I almost pulled an all-nighter for this but didn't, and I'll talk about that a little more later in the video because it's sort of important and kind of changes how I finished it up. But yeah, also here, like, I'm so stupid, like my camera keeps shutting off and my SD sticks like keeps running out of space, and then I have to keep replacing it and putting files back on my computer to give my SD card some space. And as you can see, like, I missed a lot of the painting, but you get the point. Like, I'm just painting it. I'm just like filling in the blanks and using gouache to put paint on the paper. It's pretty straightforward. Now you can see like me putting paint in the windows, because I realized that, you know, you have to be able to see through the windows because the windows are glass. And now I'm working inside the house and putting a floor down, and I'm gonna start putting in the pink colors of the shelves and desks and stuff like that to really tie it together. But at the same time, like, you know, kind of new to this, and like I said, my camera kept shutting off, and I need to learn how to like make it stay on for a longer period of time. Yeah, because after a while it just shuts off, and I got so tired that I didn't even check after a while, and I realized that it wasn't recording. But anyways, yeah, so we're getting that pretty pink color, like a salmon-y color, into the shelf. Oh my god, I forgot the word. Yeah, I really like that color. See, like, oh, I'm so frustrated at myself. Like, I didn't record that entire time that I was painting this. But at the same time, I kind of hated it. Like, I went to bed and I woke up and I looked at it, and I was like, ew, this is ugly, what am I gonna do? So instead, I actually printed my digital file out, my color comp, and I printed it on nice paper, put double-sided tape on it, and then stuck it to my gouache painting, and I really liked how that actually turned out, which is why I kind of called this like a gouache / digital hybrid media at the beginning. Like, that's sort of what it is. And I do like how it turned out now, not 2 seconds ago that I just showed. Now I'm peeling off the tape, which is honestly the best part, except when you accidentally rip the paper, that's when I want to kill myself. And so, yeah. So, you know how there's like little pieces in there that you can kind of tell is where the gouache ends and the digital print begins? So I'm bringing the file into Photoshop, and then I'm going to really fine-tune the details, like is that tree there, right? The 2 shades don't match up. So I'm just going over it and then cleaning up the edges there. I am kind of mad at myself that the gouache, like the original gouache painting, didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to, even though I had like a whole idea in my mind of how I wanted it to turn out. But I'm still happy with the end result, and I'm still happy that like I had this experience. And you know, art isn't perfect. You have to go through so many stages for you to be actually happy with something that you create. And sometimes there's things that I don't want to post that took so long, or things that I do want to post but are too embarrassed to, and blah blah blah. Like, you know, I'm a perfectionist. I feel like a lot of artists are. It's hard to get through like art block and the sort of perfectionism that you have in your own brain, that you hold like a standard to your art. But I feel like showing this process will make me accept myself a little bit more. And yeah, that's the finished product. Wow, I just went on a whole like tangent for a second. But there's the finished product. I'm really happy with it. That's the scanned and the digital version. And thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. It is my first video, like I said, and I hope I'll be able to make more. Bye!